Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the way plants make their own food using sunlight, water, and air, making it possible for them and all life on earth to grow and survive. Let's break down this concept in bit more detail for kids. How photosynthesis works. Plants need sunlight, water from the soil, and carbon dioxide from the air to start. Inside leaves are tiny green components called chlorophyll that soak up sunlight and give leaves their color. Plants absorb water through roots and carbon dioxide through tiny holes, that is, stomata on leaves. The sunlight's energy helps plants turn water and carbon dioxide into sugar, that is glucose, which is their food, and oxygen, which is released into the air for people and animals to breathe. Photosynthesis in simple steps for kids. Sunlight shines on leaves. Chlorophyll captures the sunlight. Water travels from roots to leaves. Carbon dioxide enters through stomata. Sunlight energy mixes water and carbon dioxide to make food, that is glucose and oxygen. Why is photosynthesis important? Plants use glucose for growth, energy, and staying healthy. Oxygen produced lets all animals and humans breathe. Plants start the food chain by making food from sunlight. Animals eat plants and people eat both plants and animals. Fun ways to explore photosynthesis. Put one plant in sun and one in a dark place. See which grows better and talk about why. Try putting white flowers in colored water. Watch how the color moves up the stem like water traveling inside plants. Photosynthesis is like a magic recipe that turns sunlight into energy and fresh air, keeping everything alive and green. Why is photosynthesis important for life on Earth? Photosynthesis is crucial for life on Earth because it provides food and oxygen for almost all living things and forms the very foundation of our plants' ecosystems. Main reasons photosynthesis is important. Source of all food. Plants, algae, and some bacteria make food from sunlight through photosynthesis. All living creatures, herbivores, omnivores, and carnivores rely directly or indirectly on these food. Without it, there would be no energy supply for higher life forms. Produces oxygen. Photosynthesis releases oxygen into the air. This oxygen is essential for animals and people to breathe. Without photosynthesis, there would soon be almost no oxygen in the atmosphere, making survival impossible for most life. Removes carbon dioxide. Plants pull carbon dioxide from the air, helping to keep Earth's climate balanced and reducing the greenhouse effect, which is linked to global warming. Foundation of the food web. Plants use the energy from sunlight to make food, and every food chain begins with plants or photosynthetic organisms. All animals, including humans, ultimately depend on this energy cycle of life. By making food and oxygen, photosynthesis allows all life forms to grow, reproduce, and keep Earth healthy and full of life. If photosynthesis is stopped, nearly all living things, including people, would eventually disappear because food and oxygen would run out. Try this simple experiment designed for kids to understand the concept of photosynthesis. Leaf oxygen experiment. The main objective of this experiment is to show that plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. What you need is a clear glass or jar, a small potted plant, or a fresh leaf from a plant, water, a sunny window, or a lamp with a white light bulb, a small bowl or plate. First, fill the glass or jar with water. Submerge the plant leaf or a small pot of the plant in the water. If using a potted plant, place the leaf carefully in the water inside the glass. Place the jar with the leaf in a sunny spot or under a bright lamp. Wait and watch for tiny bubbles forming on the leaf surface. These bubbles are oxygen released by the leaf as a result of photosynthesis. What's happening? The bubbles are evidence that the plant is using sunlight to make food and releasing oxygen. This shows how important sunlight is for plants to produce oxygen and energy for life. This simple experiment visually demonstrates photosynthesis and helps children connect the concept of plants making oxygen with what they can see in real life. It's safe, easy, and uses everyday items.